you guys a honest review on Marvel's Avengers. As you can see, I'm actually playing the Heroic Gauntlet 4. I've been playing it since this morning, and I want to kind of give you guys like a review on what do I think about the game so far, since now it's almost about to be that 1 year anniversary for the game since its release. And what do I think so far of it? Well, in my honest opinion, I've been playing Marvel's Avengers ever since the game came out. It's been one of them games where I was pretty much playing it consistently, like almost every day. I hop on the game. I mostly play it by myself, because with the whole matchmaking it's kind of hard. So I mostly just been playing the game by myself. Now, I had some moments where I played with other players, but again, with the matchmaking, it kind of made it a lot harder to pretty much play multiplayer most of the time. So I think that's something I kind of got used to now. Like right now, well, I mean, when you play the Mega Hive, you don't really play with you mainly just playing it by yourself, which I don't know why they haven't really did the whole not play multiplayer, but well, yeah, add the multiplayer part to the Mega Hive, so it doesn't have to be like you have to play this particular level by yourself. You can play with other people. I don't know why Crystal Dynamics haven't done that yet, but again, so this is something that I mainly do almost anytime I get on the game. It's mostly just play these highs, play some particular mission here and there, but it kind of gets boring real quick sometimes, because of the fact that, again, like, it's just the same stuff that we've been doing for months now. The game's been out for almost a year, like literally, and we haven't really gotten any kind of new content for real. Like, I know that we had the roadmap that was introduced to us back in March when the Hawkeye DLC came out. Like April, we were supposed to have the Tachyon Anomaly, and then May we had the Black Widow Red Room takeover. June we had the Cosmic Cube, which I think the Cosmic Cube was actually pretty fun, honestly, because it's kind of like a ending to the whole AIM storyline with Monica Rappaccini being the Scientist Supreme, which is, again, that was kind of an end to that one. And then July, which I'm not sure if it's supposed to be next week or the week after next, we're supposed to be getting the Omega level threat, which a lot of people have been asking for that. We were promised the Omega level threat back in December of 2020, but given the whole status of the game and how everything was being pushed back and had to redesign and reevaluate the plan going forward, we're now getting the Omega level threat, because again, when the roadmap was first introduced, we were supposed to get patrol mode that came out this month, but I think Crystal kind of changed it. I guess they wanted to work on it a little bit more, so we won't be getting that until like later on this year. I think maybe after the Black Panther DLC. Now, so as far as character wise, what would I say? So mainly the character I play as the most is the Hulk. And I know what you guys are thinking, like, why am I playing a character like the Hulk? He's kind of boring, this and that. Like, the reason is because Hulk is actually one of my favorite Marvel characters. If I have to say who is my favorite Avenger, of course it is the Hulk, because again, I grew up watching the Incredible Hulk TV animated series, along with read most of the Hulk comic books, because again, Hulk is my favorite Marvel character next to Spider-Man, so I mostly just been playing him. Then another character, I mostly play almost all the Avengers. Like, there's not well, actually, let me take that back, because there is actually one character I don't really play that much of, and that character is Miss Marvel. I don't know why I don't play as her as much. Like, I know I've gotten her to 150, but it's just, I don't really... Again, Miss Marvel's really not like a character that I would be like, oh my god, let me go ahead and get her. Like, she's the best. Like, I don't do that, Like, I literally don't get that character like that for real. So, again, like, Miss Marvel isn't one of those characters I play as. But everybody else I play, like, I play this game so much that, as you can see, like, I pretty much done well, not upgrade. I pretty much have collected almost every resource. As you can see, I have, I would say, 100,000 of the fragments, 1,000 of the upgrade modules, 1,000 of the nanite, 1,000 of the nanotube, 1,000 of the catalyst, thousands of the plasma. Then I have well, not 1,000. I meant to say 10,000 for this section here. 10,000. Then you have 1,000 for the polycorin, and then 100 for the DNA keys. Here, the Uru, I don't get as much of the Uru, but again, when I think with the Uru, I get to about 9,000 with that as well, or I would say 10,000 with the Uru. But as you can see, I pretty much done, well, I've actually had, like, I will say that around this time, well, not around this time, but back when I had platinum this game, again, I had platinum this game back in October of 2020. So basically a month after I bought the game, I platinumed Marvel's Avengers. And one of those trophies contained that I reach a power level of 150 with any character, along with max out the major artifacts. So as you can see down here, I pretty much maxed out Hulk in his gear, along with the major artifact, which is 10, and then the minor artifacts, of course, I maxed them out as well. And as you can see with the champion system, I have them at 54. I know that I've seen some people who played as one character and they have a power level, not power level, a champion level of like over 100, and I can tell that they've been logging in hours, day by day, and I can tell that's all they play is just Marvel's Avengers. So Hulk was the first character I reached to 150. He was also the first character I pretty much maxed out on when it came to gear, artifacts, along with create and also finishing his challenge card. He was actually one of the characters I even finished a challenge card with. And then I kind of worked my way down with all the other Avengers, but again, the Hulk is the only character I did the most out of anything with. He was mostly the one I collected the most exotics with as well, because again, I like playing as the Hulk. Now I do play as other characters. Like I do play with Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow. I even play as Hawkeye and Kate Bishop, which if I had to choose between the two, I think I kind of like Kate Bishop a little bit more than Hawkeye, due to the fact that when the only difference with Hawkeye is he has I forgot the name of that move set that he does with his arrows, but that's the only thing about Hawkeye that I like is his arrows and the Hunter arrow. But Kate Bishop just has like a variety of move set, which I know they were trying to do something similar and different with those two characters, given that they're both archers, which again, I never understood why the only two DLC characters we have had to be archers. Like I never understood that. If anything, we could have gotten like, Captain Marvel, honestly, because I know for anybody who has played the Hawkeye DLC, we know that that the Kree was heavily involved in that storyline, and it would have been nice if if we got Captain Marvel around that time, which again, we all know that Captain Marvel exists in the Marvel Avengers, so we know she exists. Hell, even Captain America mentioned that she was off-world, so we know that Captain Marvel exists. Like I don't know why we haven't gotten her yet. In my opinion, I think that we could have gotten Captain Marvel, somewhere around this time in this year too. Instead of just it being both Hawkeye and Kate Bishop, I think the next one we could have gotten before Black Panther would have been Captain Marvel, because again, they really heavily used the Kree storyline in the Hawkeye Imperfect DLC. So again, that would have been something we would have loved to see. Well, in my opinion, was something I would have enjoyed to see, was that. Another thing is, next month we'll be getting the Black Panther DLC, and I know a lot of y'all are thinking like, man, everybody's been waiting for a new character to show up in the game, because again, we haven't had a new character since Hawkeye dropped, and that was back in March, and we're about to be in August right about now. So again, it's nice to have something new show up. I don't know why it took so long for them to start bringing in these kind of characters, but it really just it's just not fun when it comes to that. But again, it's something that it just needs improvement. What do I think of the story overall? So the story overall, like, I'm more, the thing about me is that I like video games. I like playing them. Now, I won't say that I'm like a huge gamer, because some people who play games mostly play online games. Like, they play Anthem and Destiny, which a lot of people, when I watch YouTube videos, a lot of people compare this game to games like Destiny or Anthem, saying that they have the same play style and all of that. And again, I never played those games, so I 100% know how Destiny or Anthem is played like. But you know, the story itself, I'm more of a story driven person. Like, I like games that have a compelling story where I can get into the world that's being created here. And I think that's why with me, like with Avengers, like when I first heard about this game, I really thought this game was going to be like a story driven. Like, I knew this game was going to be like multiplayer aspect to it, but I thought it was gonna be, but I figured it wasn't gonna be as bad. Like, I would say games like Grand Theft Auto 5, like, I thought it was gonna be like a long story, but then you can go and do like multiplayer kind of aspect to it. That would have been kind of fun. That's what I was thinking about it at first. I didn't think this game was like that for real. So knowing that this kind of game exists, I was sadly kind of disappointed a little bit when it came out, because again, the game was short. The story was pretty short, and once you finish the story, it's like then you have this in-game content where you pretty much go around the road, not the roadmap. Well, yeah, the roadmap. No, not the war table. I'm sorry, the war table, to do all these particular missions, and you know, it's a good enough way to keep the story going. But after a while, like when you play it, it kind of gets repetitive and boring. Like you fight through the same room or same wave of enemies. The rooms pretty much look exactly the same. Like, there's no variety added to it, and you know, it gets a little tad boring. Like, I don't want to be that guy and say, you know, I hate this game, because I mean, hate is such a strong word. I just wanted more to the game, because again, we've only had 2 DLC characters in about almost a year. You would think that by this time we would have had at least about 4, maybe 5 DLC characters in about a year. And you know, given the pandemic, you know, yeah, some things were a little bit unacceptable, but if you was going to continue doing this kind of stuff for the game, the least you could do is add more to it, like be a little bit consistent with it. Because again, you know, there's so much, and I mean, there is so much you can do with this game if you have people that care more about how, you know, how the game is being addressed. If people started listening to what they expect this game to be later on down the road, because again, we should have already had more like extra story content added to it, so it doesn't feel like it's just more going on with it. Because again, you know, I think this game could, you know, be something. So another thing I would say is, what do I think about the DLC that was added to it? So Kate Bishop was our first DLC character that was released back in December, which initially she was supposed to be released in October, a month after the Marvel's Avengers game came out. But you know, the developers decided to push that character back, I guess, to work out bugs or kinks or something. So they decided to do that, and then she got released in December. Around that time in 2021, early, we were promised to get well, not promised, it was advertised that we were supposed to be getting the Spider-Man DLC back in early 2021. Now, why we haven't gotten this character, I am not sure. There could be multiple reasons. Maybe it's the fact that they really want to work on the Marvel stuff, but not Marvel. They really want to work on Spider-Man character, so that way it turns out good and plays differently from like characters like Black Widow or Black Panther, Captain America, as far as move set wise, fighting style, traversal. Because I mean, the character will be swinging. So now, it's funny how when the game first came out, we were advertised that people who have PlayStation were going to be exclusively getting Spider-Man added to their roster. Little did we know was that we didn't know the game was going to be pushed back like that. So a lot of people now were speculating that Spider-Man won't be coming out until December of 2021. So the end of this year is when we're supposed to be getting Spider-Man added to the game. But exciting news is that we are getting Black Panther. Hopefully that they don't push the character back or anything, because again, like, Black Panther is a fan favorite character. Even when the MCU came out with him, like, everybody was like hyping Black Panther. People right now just are anticipating on playing as him. There's actually been speculation that many people that has not played Marvel's Avengers will actually buy the game or download it when Black Panther is released, because, you know, again, like, Black Panther is supposed to be that character that's supposed to bring back a lot of the player base, because again, you know, the player base hasn't been very good recently with the game. I think the only time people actually come back to play the game is when they add like new content to it. But the way that the content is being done right now is that the content is mostly being released almost every month. I will say around the end of the month is when content starts to be released. So with that, like right now, we're supposed to be getting the Omega level threat, and I believe that it's going to come out next week or the last week, because I think the Red Room takeover is still going on right now. So I think that will end. So we got that. And then later on down that, we hope to have a roadmap all the way up to the end of this year. So yeah, the player base hasn't been fairly good because people only play the game for a certain amount of time when the new content come out, and once they finish it, then it's more like they may play for a little bit, or they just get off the game, delete the game, and play something else that keeps them occupied. Because again, like, the game does need new content every once in a while, and I mean not like a every month thing. Maybe like do something like every 2 weeks, like add like small kind of content just to keep the player base active, and have them come back and have a content that just makes sense. It's not one of those one of them grindy kind of task type thing, and it's just like that. So with that being said, what can I say of the game? Would I recommend anyone to play it? Well, that's the thing about this game, because the fact is that there are times where this game does lack in some kind of variety of characters. With that being said, it's not easy to kind of I know that there has been a lot of expectations with this game so far, like when it came to people wanting it to be special, people wanting this game to like change the way games are being played so far. And it's true, like everyone has expected this game to pretty much change the way things are being played. So given that there's not a lot to do in the game besides the same mission over and over again, then you have something like the Red Room takeover, pretty much just adding just combat kind of challenges. But which, by the way, speaking of the Red Room, I think that was also a disappointing thing, because of the fact that with the Red Room we could have had like Yelena Belova make an appearance. Because with the Black Widow movie came out, we thought the least they could do was make it seem like the Red Room takeover was more of a mission instead of just another challenge, just to get like these awesome rewards, which I know a lot of people are kind of tired of that as well. Another thing I could possibly say is that the marketplace. Now I gotta say something about the marketplace, like real talk. I don't know what's wrong with the marketplace, honestly. It's almost as if like the marketplace pretty much disappoints people almost every week. They come out with these, costumes, nameplates, emotes, and takedowns that require money. or I would say currency. What you have is something like what you call credits. These credits, which by the way, with this right here, I could have gotten like something added to it, but you know, it doesn't work that way. You know, it don't work that way. So again, like this, you know, sometimes I just wish I knew what was going on with it, because this right here, it is very disappointing sometimes. Very disappointing to a point where you have to ask yourself sometime, like, what in the world are we doing? Like, what in the world are we trying to accomplish? Well, I'll tell you what we're trying to accomplish. Nothing at all. Nothing. I know I'm just rambling, but you know, honestly, matter of fact, I might just go ahead and just show you guys what I'm talking about when it comes to the marketplace, because again, like, I'm not sure exactly what the purpose of it is. All I can possibly tell you is that it pretty much disappoints a lot of people when it comes to it. It disappoints people because of the fact that when they do these marketplaces, they're not really good. Like, let me show you. So here, this is the marketplace once it loads. So this is the marketplace that shows up almost every year. As you can see, I kind of use my credit. I ain't pay no money. I just had like some extra additional credits to pay for these, except for this one. This one right here was free, but this is what you get almost every week. You get these character like cosmetics, which this week is supposed to be the volcanic, which that's was the same thing as it was last week. The only thing different is the Black Widow costume, which this one was in the Black Widow movie. I haven't bought it yet because I'm trying to get, you know, more credits, and that's something I want to mention about that as well. Not the cosmetics, but this is probably the only thing that people mostly would buy of anything that's part of the MCU, because as you can tell, I've only got 3 MCU skins from 3 characters. One being from the Hulk, of course. Then there's one with Iron Man, and then the other one is Captain America. Those are the only 3 characters that have MCU skins. Whereas characters like Black Widow and Hawkeye, I haven't gotten their cosmetics yet for the MCU, but I do have it. I do have that. So with that being said, that's pretty much the only thing that I have so far. So with that, I'm waiting to get more from that as well. Hopefully I get to get some of that as well. So at this time, I will say that I'll be utilizing that character. I'll be utilizing that character a lot. But in turns, as you can saw with the marketplace, there's so much they need to add into the marketplace. You know, like nameplates to me, they're not really that big of a deal, but the fact that you got to pay for them make no sense to me. Like these kind of nameplates acceptable, but like the basic ones you still got to pay for. The move set you also got to pay for as well, if it hurries up so far. Yeah, like the move set for this one is Hawkeye for 600 credits. There has to be a way where you can earn credits without having to spend more money on them. Because I think the only way you get credits is by doing each character's challenge card. Which, again, by the way, like there is no other way of earning points. Like as you can see, I've only earned actually all this has already been completed. So there's really nothing else left to do. And I've completed every character's challenge card. Every character's challenge card has been completed. So again, there's nothing else left to do. And the only way to get credits is to pay for them. Like, I don't want to keep spending money on a game, like especially if it's something that, as you can see with the marketplace, it's like it's really not interesting. Like it's really not interesting. Like I don't want to continue doing that because, you know, number one, again, there has to be another way to just get credits, you know? Like it doesn't make no sense to me to like have something like that. So for them to do that, I'm just scarcely not understanding as to why I have to buy credits just to buy like extra stuff in the marketplace. Like MCU skins, I can see they make more money off of that, because again, that's probably the only cosmetic that people would normally buy is if they want to play as their characters from the MCU movies. So with that being said, you have that, because I think what's going to happen is I'm going to get the MCU skin for Thor. Once I get him, then I'll probably get all the other MCU skins with it, because, you know, like, I mean, it's the MCU. Like, I don't want to be that guy and say, oh yeah, I'm only going to buy just the MCU cosmetic. There's been other cosmetics I buy. Like, if it's like comic accurate cosmetics, I'll get that. Like, the one I got was the Maestro cosmetic with the Hulk. That's probably the only cosmetic comic costume I've gotten so far. Well, that and the Old Man Hawkeye cosmetic. I don't think I have any other comic cosmetic for any other character. Well, I would say I do have it for Kate Bishop, the Young Avenger version of that. I do have that. Then there is who's another character I have? Well, I think that's all I have. Yeah, Hulk is pretty much the only comic accurate cosmetic costume I have so far, which is the Maestro. Oh, and World Breaker Hulk, or Gladiator Hulk, I would say. Gladiator Hulk, I forgot about him too. I have that character as well, or cosmetic as well. So again, like, there really hasn't been a lot of the cosmetics that really appeal to me to where I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta have this, you know? Like, there's none for real, because of the fact that they just don't appeal to me. Like, there's literally no cosmetic costume besides the MCU skins and maybe a few of the comics cosmetics that really appeal to me. And some of them are just a reskin or recolor of the previous cosmetic, which, oh, that's all they did, was that they just kept this design, but just changed the color of it. Never made no sense to me whatsoever. Like, come on now, there's got to be more you guys can add to this. And I don't know why I just did. I was trying to get a strong box out of there, but yeah, like I don't understand that. I don't understand that. It really don't make any sense to me to, like, for that to happen, just so that it just go from there. Like, it don't make no sense to me. So again, I just wish that there was more you could do, but I know for a fact that's probably not gonna happen, because when the Black Panther DLC come out, they said that this DLC is supposed to be a big one compared to the other previous ones we've had so far. Like, the length of it's supposed to be longer. I know I've heard some people on YouTube saying this one's gonna be like a 6-hour DLC or this and that, and I'm just like, well, we're gonna find out next month when it's released, because that's when we're supposed to be getting the DLC, is in August. So hopefully that this DLC turns out good, because I know people have said that if this DLC does not turn out good, that Marvel's Avengers may not last as much for real after that, because this DLC is supposed to be a savior for the game. So again, we're gonna find out eventually, and I'm really anxious to see how they do Black Panther, because I saw the trailer for it. It looks pretty fun, pretty good. And I know that the villain that they chose was going to be Claw. And anyone who doesn't know who Claw is the main. He's one of the main villains for Black Panther, next to Killmonger, M'Baku the Man-8, and just a normal guy who just goes around collecting vibranium and harness it by, you know, doing that kind of stuff. So you have that. So again, I'm just anxious to see where they go with that. So again, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. But I have more to say about the game. I don't want to say too much on it, but I have a lot of stuff I want to say about Marvel's Avengers. So again, I hope you guys understand, what I was trying to say about the game, how I feel about it. what are things they need to add towards it, because again, like, this game is lacking in some areas, and you know, some of those areas needs a bit of improvement, because again, like, the game does get boring from time to time. So it's one of those times where it's like, well, they need to do something about it, because again, like, this game is lacking. This game is lacking on material content, and we just need some more. We just need more variety added to the game. So with that being said, hope you guys all have a good day today on a good Wednesday. Yeah, if you like the channel, just please subscribe. Comment down if you guys have anything you want to say about the game as well, things that you wish to change, and you know, I'll be willing to give you guys feedback on what I think on it so far. And again, you guys have a good Wednesday.